You don't need to be the richest one, but you want to be rich enough. No. It took me a while to understand that. I've always wanted to make a lot of money, but in the past, I wanted to be super rich, and I actually treated it as if it were a competition, although that's the worst way to think about going after money. You should think about building a life for yourself and going after your goals and accomplishing great things, and then money will usually, not necessarily, follow depending on how you structure your life. But the point is, be rich enough, not the richest one. And the reason you want to do that is because money has the power to eliminate all your worries. And there is no situation more satisfying than having enough money to give you the freedom to do whatever you want, with whomever you want, wherever you want.
All the other stuff that you're not going to be able to do when you're 50 or 60, okay? Because what you're going to want to do when you're 50 or 60 is you're going to be like, I want to go where I want, with whoever I want, as long as I want.
Imagine if you were able to travel anywhere in the world, live in any city that you chose, move far across the earth to another continent, to another city you've never been to, move to another continent thousands of miles away from where you are right now. Imagine if you had that power. You might not want to do it, but you have the option. Having the option to do things that you want, things that you desire, gives you so much fulfillment and pleasure that nothing come on top of that in terms of living a pleasurable life. And when people say that, oh yeah, but money won't make you happy, the reason they say that, first, they're broke, they don't have money, they've never had money. And if you ever hear a wealthy person say that money doesn't buy happiness, is because he's used money the wrong way. Instead of using money as a tool to get him financial freedom, he used money as chains. And he's enslaved by his money and by his status and by his life, instead of structuring his life in a way that the wealth that he has make him free. So having fuck you money so you can live anywhere in the world, travel anywhere that you please, it can eliminate all your worries. I used to work $3 per hour jobs and save pennies for months and months and months, so that perhaps after 6 months of saving money and then begging my relatives and my family, my parents, my grandparents for some extra pennies, I could afford a 3-day vacation.
I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money.
When they say that money doesn't buy you happiness, I mean, does worrying about putting a meal on your table buy you happiness? Does worrying about not being able to pay your rent buy you happiness? It doesn't make sense. That argument is just stupid. It's just an excuse people have in order to not go after money, not because they don't want it, but because they don't want to put in all the work, make all the sacrifices required to get that money. That's what they mean when they say money doesn't buy happiness. It's not because that's true, because, I mean, how can you not be happy in a place like this? Imagine waking up in the morning, your room being right there, opening the window door and then jumping straight into the pool, and then grabbing a coffee from the kitchen and then just relaxing here, getting a book to read. How could that make you miserable? I'm sure there are other elements that determine how happy you are with your life. As I told you before, there are many rich people who are not particularly happy, but that's not because of their money, that's because they've structured their life in a way. They've made choices that make them more enslaved rather than more free. But that's irrelevant to whether or not money can eliminate worries from your life. It definitely can, but you just gotta use it the right way. If you get a hammer and you try to hit a nail on the wall, that works, because that's what the hammer is used for. If you get a hammer and you try to open the door of your house, you cannot open the door. Perhaps you can smash the door until it's broken and then you can enter, but then you have a broken door. And that's how most people use their money. They use it their own way. They use it like a hammer. They have a hammer and they open the door with that, but then they have a broken door. That's a metaphor that means basically they break a relationship or they break something else in their life because they use the tool that they have at their disposal in an incorrect way. But if you have a hammer and you have a nail on the wall, nail metaphorically being the equivalent of a worry, something that brings you stress, the rent of your home, or money you need to go on a vacation, or money that you want to spend to buy something that you need, a healthcare bill, anything that you want to get, that's the nail on the wall. And the nail on the wall could be a worry. Unless you use the hammer to smash it, put it in the wall, and then you use your money the right way in order to bring you what you want, instead of using to breaking something because you use the tool incorrectly. So take for example this amazing mansion right here, these Chinese-styled mansion. When I say this is a rental, they're gonna be like, ha! I knew it! You rent your homes. Really? Who doesn't rent their home? I mean, are you fucking stupid? You probably rent your home too. Your parents rent your home. You certainly must have rented a place sometime to live in. I mean, it's a ridiculous debate. Same goes with cars. I mean, you can rent your cars if it makes sense financially, or you could buy them. But people don't get the concepts of global lifestyle. When I say that I'm traveling all over the world and live in any country that I want, I can get any place that I want, anywhere in the world. And I just move there for days or weeks or months and live there. They just don't get so far out of their head that concept of living globally. Could they have a home in every single country in the world? Nobody has that. Technically, if you are the richest person in the world, if you're Jeff Bezos and you're worth $150 billion, you could have a home in perhaps every country in the world, but you would spend a big part of your fortune to do that. If you went to places like this that cost a few $1 million. But even if you do that, wouldn't that be stupid to do? Why don't just rent and be mobile and be able to leave whenever you want? What's wrong with renting? What's wrong with renting your stuff? I don't get it. I know though why people say, this is a rental, this is a rented car, this is a rented home. Because they want to make any excuse in order to lower the value of the other person and give themselves a rationalized reason, an excuse to not go after the same thing and not do all the things that this person has done to be able to have this lifestyle. They don't want to do it, and they need a legitimate reason in their mind to make them feel good about it. So they're going to say, this is rented, so he's not really successful. Although they know he is, but they're going to say that in order to persuade themselves to not go after it. So that's why they're doing it. It's stupid, but it's a rationalization mechanism of their mind in order to escape facing their fears. Instead of facing their fears head on, the fear of trying to achieve something worthwhile, instead of facing that fear, they just ignore it and try to throw a smokescreen and pretend that it's not there, although it is.
Now I'm ready, I'ma blow up.